Well, hello everybody. Trying to get my settings together here. How's everybody doing tonight? We're going to give a couple minutes for some people to pop one, but we're going to be doing the moss stitch together. Get some nice lighting here. Hello, hello. So I grabbed some stash yarn. We're going to first do a swatch in multicolored yarn, and then we're going to do a swatch changing color so you can see how to do it both ways. Hi, Maggie. I have chosen to use a 6mm crochet hook for this. It's wonderful. You can just use the suggested hook. You do not have to go large for this pattern. It's a fun pattern. It's a repeat. So actually, once you get started, it's a 1-row repeat, and it just works up beautiful. And also, this is actually a good pattern for a baby's blanket, scarves, lap blankets, comforters for your bed. You can make a cardigan out of this. You can do so many different patterns out of it. Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. So the chain that you want to do is you want to do an even chain. You can pick any count that you want. It just needs to be an even number. Again, I'm going to be using a 6mm crochet hook. So let's do this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. That's what I'm going to start. I'm going to start off with a chain of 24. So all you need is an even number of chains to do this pattern. Now, I like to work in the back horizontal bars of the chain, the first row. The reason I enjoy doing that is when you do that, it leaves a very beautiful edging that makes it a lot easier for doing your borders if you want to do borders. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for watching. So, again, even number, and I'm using a 6mm crochet hook. To get started on the first row, you want to go into the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to flip 2, 3, 4, and flip. And then put a single crochet right in there. Okay. And then we chain 1. And then you skip 1 and you put a single crochet in the next. And this is what you do. You chain 1, you skip 1, and you single crochet. This small stitch is absolutely beautiful, easy to work up. So what we're doing is we're chaining 1, we're skipping 1 stitch, and we're going to the next and putting a single crochet. So we're doing it in variegated yarn right now, and then I'm going to do a swatch changing color so you can see it both ways, which is real nice. And if you have any questions, it doesn't have to be about the moss stitch. It can be about anything that you're working on. If we're able to help you, we'll be more than happy to do that. And we are on Facebook and on TikTok and on our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, can you please do that? That helps us keep going and doing this wonderful job. So doing this should take you right to the end. I want to show you by using the back horizontal bar, the edging that it leaves you. It leaves you, when you use the regular method that a lot of people use, it makes it hard. Hello. But when you use the back horizontal bar, can you see it? It looks like a regular full finish chain row. Look at that. And this makes it a lot easier if you want to put borders on and all. And the stitches, the chain isn't stretched. Sometimes when you pull from one of the bars on your chains, it'll stretch your stitch and it's very noticeable. So anyway, so this is our first row. Looks really nice. So then we turn. Now this is going to be our repeat row. You're going to chain 2. And then you're going to go into your chain 1 areas, your gaps. You can't miss them. You go right into that chain and you put a single crochet. Thank you, Monica. This is, I can tell by the feel, this is Hobby Lobby yarn, but I lost the cover for it. I have been working really hard on not buying, which Maggie can attest that's really, very hard for me. I've been trying to hit my stash, and my stash is huge, but I love these colors. Absolutely beautiful. So anyway, so we're on chain 1, and again, we go right into that chain 1 area and put a single crochet. And chain 1 and single crochet. How is everybody doing tonight? I love that you guys are on here watching. We really appreciate it. We've been pushing out a lot of videos lately, and we're right on the path to keep doing it. If there's something that you want to see a video of, if you join our Facebook group, you can tell us you're looking for a pattern for something, and we'll be happy to work on that and get a tutorial out as soon as I'm able to design the pattern. But I would rather do videos for projects that you guys want to see and want to do. And we have a nice little we have a nice little Facebook group going, which is wonderful. So I'm nearing the end. I'm going into my chain 1 area. And when you're at the very end, right here, you go right into that chain area, right? No, we've been doing Thursday nights right now. Maggie has a very busy schedule, so do I, but I'm going to try to add one night if I can. Maybe over the weekend. I'll see. Maggie and I can talk about it and we'll figure it out. But yeah, I would like to do a few more lives if you guys enjoy these. So anyway, I did my chain 1. I'm going to go right in that gap and do a single crochet. All right. This is what it looks like for the first row. Very pretty. All right, so we turn, and it's a repeat row. So we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and we're going to go right into our first chain 1 area. And we're going to put a single crochet. And we're going to chain 1 right into our chain 1 area. Thank you. But that helps us so much. Thank you for subscribing. Chain 1 and right in here. I also think I'm gonna work on some more tutorials for different kinds of stitches. I kind of got away from doing that, and I'd like to get back to that. So because I've noticed some people like to see stitches to make their own scarves or blankets or just a different kind of pattern. So I'm going to work on doing that also. So I'm continuing chaining 1 and single crocheting in the chain 1 areas. But this is a wonderful beginner-friendly pattern that I absolutely enjoy doing. It's actually, I'll be honest with you, It is my favorite. This is a pattern you can do watching TV, just relaxing, where you don't have to do a lot of counting. And because it's a one row repeat, you don't ever have to worry about, if you sit down to project, what row you ended on. Sometimes, me personally, I have done that. So I'm coming up to my end. Now be really careful. Make sure you get into that chain area. Now, one trick I do use, if you struggle, look how pretty that is. Really pretty. If you guys follow us at all, you would know that I am a stitch marker addict. Look at that. It's pretty bad. And I have another whole thing of them. But anyway, so let me show you a trick. If you're worried about finding your edging, and your edging can go wonky if you're not sure where that gap is, when you chain your 2 to start your new row, 1 and 2, and you go into your first gap for your single crochet, do your single crochet. If you want, you can stop right there, and you can take a stitch marker and mark right between those 2 areas, just like that. And you'll never have to guess where that gap is, where you're putting your last single crochet. And you can do that on both sides. And I've also used stitch markers for other things. I've used them like if I need to count, and I need to do, say, 13 rows. I'll just keep adding stitch markers in here till I get 13. Whatever works for you is wonderful. So again, we're just going across here, chaining 1, and we're going into our chain 1 area. Correct. If you don't have them, you could use a safety pin or a ribbon, or even a piece of yarn. You can use, yeah, there's a lot of different things that you can use. Absolutely. Just because this is what works for me doesn't mean that's exactly what you have to use. It's just, stitch markers is something that I absolutely am addicted to. I love them. I have 2 favorite kind, to be honest with you. I have these that work great. And then I also just have the ones that will close. It depends on what I'm working on, will determine which one I use. But I do like them. So anyway, so we're chaining 1, and we're doing a single crochet in the chain 1 area. I wanted to do a few rows with you. That way we could set it down, and you can absolutely... The stitch markers, you can get them at Michael's. You can get them online through Amazon. They sell them in almost any craft store. Hobby Lobby that sells yarn will have the stitch markers. Yep, Amazon, yep. All right, so we're at our last stitch, and remember I showed you how you can mark your last stitch. Right there's my chain 2. I'm just going to go right in there and do my single crochet. Let's do another 2 rows together, then we can get a really good glimpse. Oh, you're getting your own yarn. That's wonderful. So we're going to keep repeating. We're going to chain 2, and then we're going to go into chain 1 areas. We're going to be starting over again with changing, doing a whole nother swatch with changing colors. So you're okay. I appreciate you getting yarn. So we're doing chain 1 and single crocheting into the gap. Chaining 1 right into the gap. I think Maggie is doing a project right now with this stitch, if I recall right. Right, Mag? Is it a blanket you're making? Oh, you're doing with scrap yarn? That's wonderful. Yep. Has anybody on here ever done a temperature blanket? You could do this stitch. Yep. You could use this stitch. Perfect for a temperature blanket. But the only problem with temperature blankets, they're huge, just so you know. Yeah, Maggie, you started one. I did this 6 months, the first 6 months of my Alaska. I never did the second 6 months. I just finished a hat in an hour, and my hubby says you did that while I was asleep. He could have made me one instead of buying it. I have a few tutorials on there for hats now. They're really beautiful, and I think I'm going to try to do a few more. It seems to be popular. Let's do one more row. You guys can get a good feel of this. So we're at the end. So we're all right. Welcome back. Chain 2. I'm going to be starting a brand new one in a little while to show you how to change colors if you want to do one in different colors. All right. So we're chaining 2. We're going in the chain 1 area, and we're going to do single crochet. Isn't this wonderful? I think I might do that popcorn hat. That is really, really pretty, isn't it? I was also thinking about if I could do the scarf to go along with it. A scarf hat. Just make a scarf to, nice, yeah. This is beautiful, and this is very warm. This is called the moss stitch. So we're chaining 1 and we're single crocheting in the chain 1 sections. So we're not crocheting on top of the previous single crochets. We're single crocheting into the gaps. And you can feel them with your fingers. It goes really, really fast. And this is the variegated yarn that we wanted to show you what the stitch looks like using variegated yarn. And by going into those edges very cleanly, let me put the last one in. I'm going to show you. Look at how pretty that is. It is fast and easy. It's beautiful. Look at that. And your edges stay really nice on this. So this is what this looks like. Here's the back. And here's the front. Really pretty. All right. Let's dive into using multicolors, solid colors. So let's start with, if I can find the center, we start with a chain. And when you do a chain, I'm trying to find the center. There we go. You want to do an even chain. All right, here we go. So I decided to just pick out some colors which I thought were more fall-like. All right. So we have our yarn. We're going to make a slip knot. Okay. Using 6mm crochet hook. Okay. So I would suggest just to start as a sample so you can get the hang of it before you try to do a large project. So I want you to do a chain, and a chain is just wrapping the hook and pulling it through. That was one. Wrapping the hook, pulling it through. That's two. Sure, take your time. Just take your time. And if you struggle on this live, Monica, you're welcome to come join our Facebook group, and I'll be more than happy to help you be successful at this. Oh, don't be sorry. It's okay. So I got two chains. We're going to chain and get an even number. So if you want, you can chain 16 or 18 or 20 just to do a little bit of a swatch, okay? You're welcome. You're welcome. So I got two. I'm going to just keep on chaining. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. I'm doing a chain of 24. So when you turn your chain over, you have back bars. But if you're just learning right now, let's not worry about the back bars right now, Monica. Let's worry about just right here. So you're going to count your stitches. The stitch that's just off your hook, that's 1. Next one, 2. Next one, 3. And the 4th. You can put your thumb right on the 4th one. You go right into that top of that 4th stitch, go in, grab some yarn, pull it through, wrap your hook, and go through both loops. And that's a single crochet. All right. So then we chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next stitch, and do a single crochet. We're on chain 1 again, skip a stitch, go into the next stitch, do a single crochet. And we're going to keep doing that all the way down our chain. We're on chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next stitch, and a single crochet. We're on chain 1. Welcome everybody. We're doing the moss stitch. It's also known as the linen stitch. So thank you for joining us. Chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next stitch, and do a single crochet. Chain 1, skip a stitch, go into the next one, single crochet. Chain 1, skip a stitch, next stitch, single crochet. Chain 1, skip a stitch, next stitch, single crochet. See how nice, this is not a stressful pattern at all. It's really nice. Chain one, skip a stitch, next stitch, single crochet. Chain one, skip a stitch, next stitch, single crochet. And if you chained an even number, this will work out perfect. Chain one, skip a stitch, and in your last stitch, do a single crochet. Hello, Jeff. Welcome back. All right, so now, if you're going to be changing colors, if you're not, you don't need to do anything. But if you're changing colors, leave yourself a tail, enough to weave in, okay? I'm going to cut this yarn. If anybody was curious, this is Loops and Threads, and this color was called Walnut, if anybody's interested. I have the label on it. So then the next color I'm going to be using is, I love this yarn, Hobby Lobby. It is called Mid Green. Okay, changing color can be a little nerve-wracking until you've done it. Nope, this is not hard, Monica. Just take your time. Learning crocheting in the beginning can be really frustrating, but well, thank you. But join our group and I can schedule times to work with you through Facebook. We can do lives. I'm here. I got you. If you want to learn, we will help you learn. Hobby Lobby has, actually, it's Michael's that I've noticed that they have more yarn too. Michael's used to only have maybe 2-3 rows of yarn. Now, when I was in there, I think a couple weeks ago, they have like 6 rows. It's crazy. Okay, so if we're going to change colors, take your hook out and take out your last stitch. I know it's horrible that I'm saying that, but take out your last stitch. Put your hook back in. Now we still have our chain one on here. So we're going to go in our last stitch. We're going to grab the original color. We're going to bring up the yarn. Okay. But then we're going to drop it. And we're going to pick up our new color. All right. And all you have to do is drape it on your hook. All right. And then you pull it through both loops. Now you leave this tail, both tails, for weaving in later. Okay. So here, before we turn, let's just chain 2 and then turn. Leave your tails hang. You chain 2. Then you're going to go right back into your gaps and do your single crocheting. Right in there, do your single crochet. Chain 1. Find your next gap. Do a single crochet. Chain 1. Find your next gap right there. Chain 1. Find your next gap. After we get through this row, I want to show you something. Because when we do our videos like this, I like to teach you guys all these little tricks that I know and why I do things. Yeah, they did buy some of the Joann's yarn. Absolutely. We're chaining 1 and we're going into the next chain 1 area to do a single crochet. Chain 1. How you doing, Monica? Chain 1, go into your next gap. Chain 1, go into your next gap. You can feel them. Oh, good. I'm so glad you're doing well. Go right in here and do your single crochet. chain 1. Maggie is absolutely spot on. This is the perfect pattern for a scrap yarn project. Chain 1, go into your gap and do your single crochet. Oh, you're welcome. Chain 1, go into your gap, single crochet and chain 1, and then you go right in the edge here. And do your last single crochet. Now, before we do another row, I want to show you something. Now, here is, we did our chain, and then we didn't use the back bars. See? Let me get the other one. I have to cut it. Now, here's the one we started with, okay? Here was where we were still crocheting, but here's our bottom. If you can see the two bottoms. This looks like a full chain. This one does not. And then the other difference is, see how this is more solid with the stitches coming up? It's not pulled and wonky. Look at this one. You can see all the holes. All the holes. So that is why I like using the back horizontal bars of when you use a chain. It makes it so much nicer, and it makes it easier for doing borders. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to leave another tail, and I'm going to grab my next color. And talking about Michael's Super Saver, this one is called Gold. Barely see it on here. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing that we did before. We're going to take out our last stitch. And we're going to go back in. We're going to pull up some yarn. And then we're going to drape our new color over. And then go through. We're going to drop the tail. Make sure you always leave a long enough tail so you can weave in, okay? And before we turn, when you're changing colors, it's safer to do your chain 2 and then turn. Okay, so then we go right into our first gap, right here, our chain 1, and we do our single crochet. And we're going to chain 1, go into our next gap, do another single crochet. Chain 1. Yeah, one little note about me on how people hold their hook. I don't hold it the way they state that you're supposed to. What I've learned with holding the hook, you have to do what is comfortable for you. And not to get sidetracked, I'm a shorter person. I'm only not even quite 5'3". I'm a shorter person, so I went out and I thought, oh, let me buy some hooks that I will love. Like I bought this one. Now these are different size hooks. And I bought, this is a real fat one, but I bought the straight metal ones. You name it. I've tried them all. I didn't keep some of the ones that really I knew I would never use. And here's another one. You have to find what works for you. All right. Since my hands are smaller, I have learned that the smaller hooks not as long, because you can look at the big difference in them. These don't work well for me. I struggle at holding them. So clover hooks work very, very well for me. Here's another one. Even though it's a wonderful hook, I struggle because I have to have my hand all the way up here. It just doesn't feel right. So you have to find, just because clover hooks work for me, doesn't necessarily mean clover hooks are going to work for you. If I were you, I would, just dabble by, I would go for standards like 5s, 5.5s, or even 6mm crochet hooks, because they are some of the most common sizes you use, and see what you enjoy. See what feels comfortable in your hand. Not every hook is going to be a winner. So just a suggestion. What are your favorite hooks to clover? We're going into the gap and doing a single crochet. I am addicted. If you watch my videos, you'll see that I'm addicted to my clover. I just realized I don't have any 3mm clover hooks. I have everything else. I need to get a clover hook that's a 3mm. But Michael's don't sell that size, so I guess I'll have to go to Amazon. Anyway, we're going into the chain one areas, and we're doing our single crochet. We're chaining one, going into the chain one area, and doing a single crochet. I like them because they have the grip right here, and since my hands are smaller, they work wonderful. Everybody, thank you for joining. If someone's new, we're learning the moss stitch. We're doing the change of colors. And I'm Ronnie, and Maggie's the moderator on here. And if there's anything you want to ask or need help with, please speak up and we'll see what we can help you with. They do make a 3mm, absolutely, in clover. I just need to get it on Amazon. It might not be this plastic. It might be this brand, this type, but they do. I just don't think it's a real popular. I think it's the problem. So anyway, we're chaining one, and we're putting a single crochet in the chain one areas. Aren't these pretty colors for fall? Absolutely pretty. What are some of your favorite hooks that you guys like to use? I would love to hear. Maggie, what was the brand of hooks that you were using for a little while? So now at the end, make sure you go into your chain. But if you're going to, instead of keep taking out that stitch, you go into that chain 2, you can just drop it. You can cut again, leave a tail. Green, gray, brown, and fall colors are my top favorite. Are they? You know what else is a really good color, Monica? This has turned out to be a really cool color. It's called burnt pumpkin. I love it personally. I absolutely love it. And during the Halloween time, and when people are crocheting a lot, this color is actually really hard to get at Hobby Lobby because it's always sold out. You love it too? Yeah. So anyway, so we're going to bring up our gold. And then we're going to drape our next color. Now, by changing colors every row, remember to chain 2 before you turn. As you can see, it does leave a lot of tails. Absolutely. leaves a lot of tails. But these tails are not hard to weave in. All right, so you go in your first gap and do your single crochet. So we're going to do this row, and we're going to look at this. How's everybody doing? Thank you for joining us. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, would you kindly please do that? We would love the support and to keep bringing you these videos and these live streams. I'm enjoying doing the lives. We're getting to meet some new people. And I would love to hear if you guys are looking for a certain stitch that you want to learn how to do. You like the silicone handles? I do too. I actually shy away from the full metal ones now. How about you? So we're chaining one, going into the chain one area and putting a single crochet and chaining one. Now, since this stitch, it's the same on both sides, how do you hide your yarn ends? Isn't that a wonderful question? Chain one. Then we're going to go in here, our chain area. Bring that up. There we go. Bring it up. Cut this. I only brought out 4 colors, so we're going to be going back to the brown. The sad part is I have a ton of them, Maggie, and I could never get rid of one crochet hook. I don't have the heart to do it. Could never do it. So we're draping the yarn over. Hello, Meg. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. And then we're going to chain 2. And then we're going to turn. And we're going to go right into, don't forget this first stitch right here. If you forget this first stitch, that's right next to the edge, it will make your pattern go in. It'll get wavy. So go right in there and do your single crochet. Chain 1. And you just keep going into the chain 1 areas to do your single crochet. So you guys see, this is like so wonderful. It works up super fast. And just to mention, we are on TikTok. We are on Facebook. And obviously, we're on YouTube. And thank you for watching us today. Maggie is the moderator on here. Her and I do this all together. I guess it's what, 2.5 years now, Maggie? Something like that. We have over 550 videos, tutorials, and I'm always looking for suggestions. If there's something specific you're looking for, be happy. Monica, good night. Thank you for joining us. If you want, message us on Facebook if there's anything we can do to help you. Have a wonderful evening. So I'm going to finish up here and chain 1. I'm going to go in right at this end. I'm going to do the full stitch. And then cut. And I'm going to chain 1. See all these tails? Don't let them deceive you. It's not as bad as you think. But so here it is, changing a color every row. And then when you turn, I would consider this the back, actually. They're very similar, but if you look closely, you can definitely see a back versus a front. So I would consider this my back. So that being said, oh, the other thing I want to bring up are these little dandy miracles. I have a kit that I didn't even open yet, and I just want to shout out to these. These will change your crocheting life. These are amazing. I love these. If you can get them, Michael sells them. You can get them on Amazon. I try to tag these as often as I can in my crochet videos. These are wonderful. Just thought I'd throw it out there. The way they work is they open so you don't have to worry about threading all the time. You open it, you put your yarn in there, and then you can do, let's see, okay. You can do your weaving in. To hide your tails, you always want to go back and forth 3 times. 3 times is the magic number for hiding in your ends. And the reason for that is when you do 3 times and you're washing your projects, or, you know, they're being used like they're supposed to be, the ends will not come loose. Because who wants to put all that time into making these projects and then they start falling apart? See? That's, yeah, cool. But you don't, it makes threading super easy. This is not an advertisement. We're not being paid to advertise these to you tonight. I just want to show you how much I absolutely, you know, when you find something that works for you very well when you're crocheting, you want to share with your, you know, other people that enjoy the hobby, something that makes your life a little easier. With crocheting, and these absolutely do. They will do that. Like if I can use them. And what's nice is they come in different sizes for like the real thick yarn all the way, and it's labeled at the bottom for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 yarn. So it makes it really nice. So this is, it's just weaving in your ends. I'm not going to do every single one with you, but it does make it real nice. And when I do projects like this that have a lot of ends, like I'll work on it for the night, then I'll stop, giving myself enough time to weave in my ends at nighttime before I put the project to bed for the night, because I'm not one that enjoys the idea of having to do hours of weaving in when the project's finally done. But some people absolutely do. So you have to decide when you want to make time for doing your end weaving. We're all different. We all do things differently, and that's what makes life very fun. There we go. But that is how they are used. And look, so here is changing of the color. And All weaving in for the end. Yeah. Yeah. Didn't you and your mother-in-law would do that at the end of one of the projects you did, Maggie? I mean, it was a something. Didn't she enjoy or not mind doing that? I forget. So here is the two different. This is absolutely changing the colors, which is fine. And here is just using variegated. Yep, she helped a lot. Yeah. So here they are. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for watching our live. It means a lot to Maggie and I. And we're gonna do another one next Thursday. When we figure out the time, we will definitely post it, what time we'll be on. But even if Maggie's schedule's busy, I might try to pop on and do a live over the weekend if my time allows. If I do, I will definitely post it on Facebook and YouTube, and I'll also post it on my TikTok. Where can you get these? You can get these at Michael's. You can get these at Michael's online. You can get these on Amazon. I do not think Hobby Lobby sells these, but I know 100% sure you can get these at Michael's online because I tag them all the time in my videos. And I also know Amazon sells these, but here's what they look like just so you can see for sure. You're welcome. Absolutely. We can make your crocheting life a lot easier. That's what we're here for. So thank you guys. I appreciate everything. And until our next live, have a wonderful night. And again, please hit that subscribe, hit the follow button for Facebook, and come visit me on TikTok. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.